Hello internets, Sir Muttonchops here, and welcome back to the Path to Grandmaster series. It's the holidays in this video. It's a long time ago, I understand that. But we're enjoying some nice holiday bonus XP. I believe it's 20% if I remember right. I'm not too sure. But the powers that be, they gave us some nice XP and we enjoyed it. We ate it all up and got our characters leveled as much as possible. Now this is obviously very old footage. I'm aware of that. Apologies. I'm trying to upload as fast as feasibly possible, but given my schedule and given my not wanting to bombard the internets with a bunch of shite, I think that it's forgivable. There's a necessity to have some kind of cohesive idea behind each upload. On some level, nobody wants to hear some oaf rambling on and on, ruining their nostalgia fix, which I invariably do with each video. But well, anywho, this is a less than festive setting, as you can tell. This is still Mistmoore, but you know, our tank does have rubicite armor on. That's kind of Christmassy. I've got the down the ear robe. It's green, red. Things are kind of festive in a way. And as you can see there, our tank was AFK at the very beginning, or semi-AFK, and us monks, well, we had to take down those wenches. They had to go down. They were feisty. They put up a mean fight, but we had to put them in their place. And that sounds kind of misogynistic, kind of really misogynistic, but that's okay. This isn't real life. This is just a game. There aren't any necromancers or vampires in real life. Well, I guess there are. Well, there are pseudo ones, I guess. Showy pseudo vamps. um, you know, it's kind of an awkward thing, but to each his own. You can have your sharpened canines and your black clothing and your eyeliner. That's your own business. What you do in your downtime and at night time is your life. It's your day. It's your world. But just don't come at me with your fangs, because I will take you out, man. I will take you down with a stake, be it wooden or meat. Doesn't matter to me, man or woman. You're going down. Like these mobs, we're actually doing a pretty good job here. Now, as you can see, I am handing over some words that are one of our purecasters needs, and I'm pretty decent with that. They don't really fetch a whole lot of money, but you can get some coinage out there in East Common Lands with the right words. I think words of allure are pretty rare. I've only seen like one or two, and there's several others out there that can get you 20 platinum at tops, I think. I don't know, I've seen some pretty high numbers out there. And so next to gems for monks, words are pretty reliable. They can get you a lot of money. They don't weigh you down, which is always a positive thing. So yeah, we've gotten a nice groove here, pattern of fighting, so that basically our conversation can turn to anything that's outside of the actual fighting, which most conversations end up turning into, which distract you from fighting, and then you have to get right back into it because somebody wasn't paying attention. But these things happen. Nobody's perfect. And the topic of booze actually came up, of all things. I'm not too sure what barefoot mosquito is. It's was mentioned in group chat. You'll see it there in the left-hand corner. I assume maybe it was Barefoot Cellars, the brand. I think that's based out of Canada. But that's about as far as my knowledge goes on wine and booze and all that stuff. Well, other than Chateauneuf du Pape, but that's just to make me sound like a wine snub. If you were actually to ask me, Pinot Noir or this, that, or the other thing, I wouldn't know. I watched Sideways and I was intrigued. That's about it. Oh, Paul Giamatti, you rascal, you. That said, my in-game character is all about the red wine and honeymead, and more recently the Skull Ale, which I wasn't aware of. Apparently, you can kill a ancient Cyclops in South Corona. He drops a skull sometimes, which is for a paladin quest. I forget which one. I'm sure some pally out there will let me know. It's for this quest, you man. You pseudo nerd. I already took down the people that dress up like vampires. I guess I deserve it. But yeah, you can take the skull that the ancient Cyclops drops. It's really heavy, but I put it in the bank account. And you can brew with it. Take some short beer or tall beer, I forget which one it's called, and you can make some skull ale. It's not really for anything other than aesthetics and cool factor points, but I'm all about those cool factor points. I need every little bit I can get so that I can feel like some kind of validation exists for my coolness, or really my lack thereof coolness. But yeah, getting back to topic. We're here. We're trying to maintain some kind of order. I should be in Everfrost, all things considered, because, well, it was the holidays, but it's not released in the holidays anyway. This is Valentine's. Almost Valentine's is upon us. It's hard to believe. And I don't really think there's anything Valentine-y in this game. There are certain few parts and quests that have a Valentine theme, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to focus on it. There's no cherubims in the game. There aren't any. Blah, 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 blah. God, sometimes I can't talk. There aren't even pans. I was very upset by that when I first played this game because there's centaurs and a lot of other mythical creatures, but no pans, and that's kind of upsetting. But well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm sure they included it in later expansions. But yeah, it was nice to take an extended break from everything, from social obligations and social niceties, and just peel off the socks and strap into my desk chair and enjoy good old Everquest again. Uh, that's right. The days where you occasionally maybe skip a shower here and there, and well, no one's around to give you flack about it. And these guys, they can't smell me through their monitors. At least not yet. I believe there was word about a TV that would emit odors. Hmm, I'm not too sure I like that idea. Who wants to smell Joe Lieberman? Oh, there's a topic right there. Joe Lieberman. He reminds me of that cartoon dog. Um, I forget his name, but he goes, yes, dear. Sorry, dear. Um, is that dehumanizing? I'm not too sure. Oh well, he's a politician, so I guess I get a pass on that one. But yeah, it just doesn't sit well with me that being able to smell through my TV or whatever technological intermediary comes out during those days that are ahead of us. Do I detect a hint of water buffalo arse? Yes, I do. Well, thank you, Discovery Channel. I really could not have experienced that African footage without that nice odor, that waft of ass. Yes, thank you. Yeah, I'm not too sure the augmented world that awaits us is necessarily a boon to mankind. But, well, that's for another day. That's for a day when EverQuest is but a memory. And what a sad day that'll be. But for now, we're living it up like man nerds in Norath. And man nerds we are. Let's make no bones about that. Now, it's interesting. I was checking up on the old forums on P99's main site and trying to find things to talk about. Not that there isn't plenty to talk about already. I mean, you could talk about EverQuest 2, EverQuest Next, or how min-maxers are basically the orthodox part of the gaming community. Everything has to be very rigid. It must be like so, and you have to do so, and da 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 da. Okay, Dad, leave me alone. But yeah, I was trolling through the forums. Not that I troll. I just like saying I'm trolling because it sounds cool. But there was a thread asking people what they do during their downtime. And, well, I myself am given to tabbing out and watching Skyrim gameplay footage. That all that footage that is pervasive throughout the YouTubes. I'm guilty. It's a problem. I have a sickness, and there needs to be an intervention. But well, unfortunately, no one's here to help me. It's a cry for help, and no one's answering the call. Thankfully, it does make one wonder though. It's not very sensical, is it? Tabbing out of an MMORPG and then willfully watching an RPG in the same bracket of time, and they're layered. You're doing two at once, and it just doesn't exude a lot of logic. But I suppose most addictions don't, do they? There isn't a lot of rhyme and reason to them. Now, I'm sure psychologists would disagree with me there, with their PhDs and Carl Jung jargon, but I have a feeling, I have a gut feeling, and that feeling tells me I'm right about this one. And it also tells me that they can piss off. Plus, I doubt those toity sirs and mams could manage their aggro in game. And they might be able to do it in real life at their workplace, but that's a patient on a couch, and that's easy. You just pacify them. It's all good. I'm talking about, actually feign deathing. Have you ever seen a psychologist feign death to manage their aggro in real life? I rest my case. Oh boy, but yeah, there was quite a few posts in that thread. Most people did things that furthered their life, uh, and not really noble things, but just day-to-day things: walking the dog, cooking, what have you. Useful tasks that made life more appreciable. Um, that's their choice. I'm not judging, but why do that when you could farm will-o-wisps in Erudin's Crossing? Or is it Erud's Crossing? I forget. Well, that was fail. You try to sound like a know-it-all nerd, and then you name the wrong. You misname the zone. Uh, well, I have nerd egg on my face. I don't know what nerd egg would be. I don't want to think about that. Maybe it would be those Easter eggs that are really sweet. What are those? Cadbury eggs? Yes. Type 2 diabetes. Here I come. But yeah, we're master looting here. To get back on topic, the two pure casters are still fighting over loot, sort of. It's a friendly test of will, but they're still going at it. Not a lot of loot hoarding going on, but it's entertaining to say the least. There are moments where you wonder about people, but and I like grouping with all these guys. They were fun. Conversations were interesting, but yeah, I learned a lot reading the forums. Actually learned a new term, poop sucking. Was not aware of that until recently. It's basically if you have tons of time in your hand to camp something, and I had to Urban Dictionary it to fully understand the whole concept of the word. And there really isn't a whole lot to understand. It basically is what it sounds like. So maybe I was reading into it too much. Maybe I was hoping there was more gravity to the word. Hmm. I'm not too sure that's the best word to use with poop sucking. Gravity. Uh, let's move on. There's no proper segue here, so I'll just say that, well, I've been trying to upload videos on a more frequent basis for posterity. That's why I'm doing this. Lost all my old screenshots from way back when, and that led me to look up an emulator, and here I am playing Project 99. It's a success story, ladies and gentlemen. This sounds like a erectile dysfunction infomercial. Um, but yeah, I found P99 and decided, hey, let's just get some stuff up, and hopefully it'll remain there for a long time to come. Uh, oh god, that ties in horribly with the erectile dysfunction quip. Oh jeez. Okay, let's move on again. Hmm. Hmm. how do I dig myself out of this hole? Hmm. It's not gonna be easy. But well, I guess I could talk about Skyrim again. Let's bring back Skyrim, dredge that back up. I'm gonna go ahead and be playing some of that soon enough. Just trying to give a quick update on that whole deal. I know I said I was gonna be playing it soon. Unfortunately, my mediocre HP is giving me hell, and I'm waiting on certain parts to come in the mail so I can try to remedy the situation. And there is a situation here. We have one going on. So as soon as that's taken care of, I will be playing the hell out of Skyrim as well. But both will be uploaded on a more frequent basis, hopefully, if all goes well, if all goes according to plan, which usually doesn't, but I'm just giving fair warning out there for anyone who doesn't want to be bombarded with non-stop videos, which, well, that's not really accurate. It's going to be a decent amount, probably twice a week. I don't know, somewhere around there. That's the goal, maybe a little bit more than that. But back on topic a little bit, back to the game itself in Mistmoore. You'll notice I'm having a problem with the doors. Um, Not the band. They turned out some decent tunes. No, the doors in this game, they're not always responsive as one would like. And when you've got a bunch of pissed off mobs behind you, the last thing you want is to be held up. Uh, there's enough choke points in this game. There's enough bottlenecking. It's just not good. And I'm really bad at clicking, especially if it's a gate, because if you click in between the bars, it doesn't swing open. And you're getting... There are mobs here that backstab, so you're getting backstabbed and pummeled left and right, and it's just not a good moment. Lots of cussing, I'll be honest. Uh, so yeah, try to remain calm and aim for one of the bars, I guess. I prefer doors or no doors at all. No doors are nice, although I'm aware that coding for doors is quite the task. But another thing you'll notice here in this footage, it happened early on, is knocked back from a spell. I got sent careening into a wall there, and this happened in down there as well, in the crypt of down there. I got just shot across even further. It was insane. It really was. And that's in the next sequence of videos to come. So you'll get to see that wonderful moment of me getting ragdolled by a spell. Uh, really, really didn't need that. But you know, these things occur, and you just have to roll with them, roll with the punches. Yes, sir, Bob Jody. So that was the moment. That was the moment that I remembered what it was like to taste the fiery burn of a spell. Um, and as you can see here, we're done. Everything ended. Well, not everything ended. I left, and everyone else continued. That's the way it really is. From my perspective, everything ended. They don't exist anymore. It's all about me. I'm very narcissistic. I have the narcissistic personality disorder, and there's nothing wrong with that, uh, except everything. But here I am. I'm helping someone out, being the good Samaritan I am, the altruist. I am pulling, dragging, doing something with somebody's corpse. I'm going to get it over to the castle entrance, which I have no idea really where that is. So it should be interesting. I am kind of aimlessly wandering around here, meandering in front of choke point areas. Not too smart, but there haven't been too many trains this night, so yeah, give me enough time to reference EQ Atlas and try to figure out where I was going. Really wasn't that difficult. I was just making it more difficult for myself by overthinking things, which isn't uncommon with people in this game. Uh, but yeah, this guy's just pulling the spare mob, and I said, oh, why don't I just go ahead and check to see if that named mob is up over here? Because I was under the impression that she dropped some kind of good loot. I'm not even too sure. I should go look it up. I don't think she does though. Anyway, I still have this task at hand. It's time to drag this carcass up to the very top and be done with it. Wash my hands of the deed and move on. Move on with my life. He may have died, but I'm still in good form, good health, and good spirits. So it's all a matter of getting him up this ramp, which in real life would be much more difficult. It would prove almost impossible, even with all my monkly strength. So, well, this is fantasy, and I've parked him in front of the castle entrance like a decent human being. Now, the fat lady may not have sung, but the fat ogre has has died. And at that, I will leave you all, and see you next time in Down Near.